Any farmer can make a profit in a good year, but when margins are tight, it separates the men from the boys. Today's Farmers Apprentice is about budgets, gross margins and negotiating. Let battle commence. There are 10 contestants competing for a £10,000 prize. Jane King is editorial director of the UK's biggest and most influential farming title, Farmers Weekly, and she has over 30 years of publishing experience. Richard Price is director of farming at Lowther Estates, and he oversees 60,000 acres of land. This is a man that never shies away from making difficult decisions. Will Gemmell is National Head of Farming for Stratton Parker. He's a key influence in the agricultural industry, having spent many years providing agronomy and strategic business advice to farmers nationwide.
Right, apprentices, this is going to be a fascinating challenge. Now, the task is all about demonstrating profitable return from a crop of wheat with prices falling by £35 a tonne since the last harvest. We want you to prepare a budget for wheat across 4 fields, and we want you to show a gross margin. Now, you need to decide on seed, fertiliser and ag chems for each field, and it means that you're going to have to buy these inputs at the best price, and you're going to have to negotiate and negotiate hard. We want you to be able to present all your findings, and at the end of it we will look for a really nice gross margin.
Now, we've talked to you about getting good advisors and good mentors. So today we've laid on for you 2 good independent advisors. That's Peter Riley, who's an independent agronomist from Norfolk, and that's also Ben Lydiard, who's an independent fertiliser expert also from Norfolk. Now, they're going to be available to you to call upon at any time, but there is a cost. So each time you call upon them, it's £50. We've also got a sales representative for you, and his task is to sell you things. Now, that's going to be done by Brett Fordham, who actually works for Anglia Farmers as a sales representative. Now, bear in mind, he's keen to sell you things, but he's not independent.
Apprentices, you have 90 minutes to complete this task, and the fertiliser market will open 30 minutes into the task and will close 10 minutes before the end of the task. And you need to select your own leader amongst your group. Now, this is a chance for you to dig deep and gain from all the knowledge you've picked up over the last 2 or 3 days and learn how to work as a team and produce the right result. Good luck.
Well, this task sums up the business of farming, working out what you expect to produce, how much you can spend and what your profit is. The apprentices will need to call on a number of different skills, as we find out now.
Anglia Farmers is a farmers cooperative purchasing group. We've grown over the last 50 years, and in the last financial year we sourced products and services to the value of well over £250 million. We're owned by farmer members, and what we do is actually act as their central purchasing department, sourcing everything you can think of. Clearly agrochemicals, fertiliser, seed, but also mobile phones, electricity, fencing materials, waste, and even health insurance. We're passionate here about promoting food and farming as real career opportunities. We chose an office setting with phones and with negotiation and with an understanding of making decisions about growing a crop. So we've asked the 2 teams to grow a crop of wheat. They have to make a decision on the variety, on the crop programme, when to buy the fertiliser, and there's a graph moving with the fertiliser prices dipping during the course of the time, and make sure in a timeliness way that they actually achieve a gross margin that enables them to make a profit. And at the end of the task, a small group will look at their choices and make a valued judgment as to what the yield is likely to be. That will give the output in terms of the crop sales, and clearly there will be a winner.
The apprentices will need some good teamwork in this task because there's a lot to do. In the first team we have Carwyn, Rebecca, Charlotte, Becky and Charlie. Charlotte has put herself forward to lead the team. Let's see how she gets on.
Right, so I want to delegate some tasks to certain people. So I'll have a look at varieties. Who wants to help me have a look at that?
I'll help you with that.
Yeah, we'll have a look at varieties. You know quite a bit about sort of harvest and stuff. I think so. Do you want to help with the varieties?
Sure. Yeah.
And you guys have a look at pricing?
We'll have a look at the pricing.
Yeah.
And see what the market's done and when our best option is to buy it.
Right, okay.
To maximise profits, the team need to pick which variety of wheat they want to grow and try to buy it at the lowest cost.
Here we go, guys. In here, the cover story, 18-page guide to what to drill this autumn.
June seems to be the cheaper.
Yeah, we're like June, July time.
What group should we target to?
I reckon milling and soft biscuit because they're going to come with a premium.
Premium?
Yeah, because they're going into the food chain. So,
Ask for
have you guys
advice
had to think
from the
about when we should be buying the seed?
I have no idea in terms of, no.
I think we want to buy it as soon as we want to plant it because otherwise we've then got to pay. Well, we can either store that or the fert or pay to store one or the other.
One Scotsman, one Welshman and an Australian all debating over fertiliser.
Hi, Bex.
Hi.
How's it going?
You're going really quickly, don't you?
Sneak on in here. How's it going? A ninja.
Never been called a ninja before.
It's going all right, actually, I think.
You are more of a livestock kind of person. Have you done anything like this before?
No, not at all. But I'm going to try it. Surely it can't be that bad.
Okay, so
Oh, the fert market's on. Oh, put that. We're in June now, it's really low.
well, we said we want to buy June sort of time, so we've got to figure out how much we need.
Yeah.
Fertiliser and seed prices vary throughout the year according to a number of factors. The most important is supply and demand. So to give the apprentices a feel of what real-life market movements are like, there's a graph showing fertiliser trading prices according to each month, and they also have envelopes on their desk with the price for seed according to different months.
Yeah, it's troughed, doesn't it? Okay, we need to see the expert. All right, we're going to go and see the expert, girls.
That's it, really.
Morning, experts.
Morning. Morning.
I've got a few questions for you as we have very limited knowledge.
Yes. So we're growing a crop of wheat, and we want to make the highest gross margin that we can. And we'd like to know which varieties or which variety in particular you may recommend.
I would suggest you need to consider what the output is of the premium and the yields you're given here. If we're looking at which variety, with the premium, you may be better off looking at a milling wheat on some of those fields.
How far would you go to diversify the crop?
As few as possible.
Few as possible.
Just remember, if you're going for that milling wheat, there's extra you need to do to make sure you get that premium. And that's all written in here, so you can read through there. And
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carry on, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We don't love crops.
No arable. We like livestock. We like cows.
Yeah, where's the flipping memoos?
Where's
the beef? Where's the milk? Where's the pork?
Hello, is it possible to arrange a meeting, please, to discuss our fertiliser requirements? We're looking at buying 21.15 tonnes.
What other things are you looking for?
They've got to work out the optimum rate of fertiliser they're going to put on, and then they've got to decide on whether they're going to go for a low input strategy on their, or a medium or a high input strategy on their ag chems in order to optimise gross margin.
Yep, and if we pay before it's delivered, and is there some negotiation there? 3, 4, 6. Super. Thank you very much for your help. Cheers. Bye-bye. It says in here that to ensure the premiums for our milling wheat, we need a liquid urea. Guys, we're not going to get any premium from our milling wheat without liquid urea. It's urea. I don't know what to do about this urea. We haven't bought any liquid urea. Charlie, we haven't bought any liquid urea, and that has to be applied in June in order to get the premium on the milling wheat.
Charlotte's quite rightly asking everyone about urea, because that is the essential fertiliser needed to boost the grain quality of wheat crops that are being used for milling or bread making.
07918 907 472.
compressive foam.
The team now want to buy their seed. In front of them are envelopes labelled by the month, which contain the price of seed for that time of the year.
Hello there, how are you? It's Carwyn and Charlie here. We're looking to sort of buy some seed off you.
Okay, if you're looking for solstice, I'll do that for 420, and the same with the Crusoe.
13 half-ton bags.
Okay, so that's 6.5 tonnes of leads.
Yeah.
And you want that at £380 a tonne?
Well, I'd like it at 350.
Yeah.
But
you'd like it at 350. How about if we did it at 370?
Well, if we're paying today, would you do 360?
How about 365?
Yeah, that's a deal.
So, Jane, a lot of people think, you know, farming is mud and tractors, but this proves that this isn't, is it?
No, it does. I mean, farming is about mud and tractors, but it's also about being business focused these days. And you know what these guys are doing. You know, it looks like a lot of paperwork and a lot of number crunching and a lot of assessment, but it's the reality for farmers. And those farmers that are getting this end, that are prepared to spend time in the office, do a bit of research, do a bit of negotiating, and really look at the numbers. They're the farmers that are streets ahead.
Okay, 11 tonnes of Crusoe, we could do that for 390 as well.
I got a quote from somebody else for 360.
For 360?
Yeah.
385.
It's still pretty high, to be honest with you.
I'd rather just not plant the crop, actually.
It pays better for me to rent the field.
At 380, all right. You drive a hard bargain, we'll do that.
Right.
Put that on the same lorry.
Radio.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Well, the boys really showed off their negotiating skills there. That's quite a deal they've pulled off.
That was such a good challenge. Really well thought out, very realistic.
Right, we need to figure out the income.
Both teams have a spreadsheet to fill in. The judges are looking for a budget on how much the teams expect to spend on inputs like fertiliser, seeds and agrochemicals, and then how much yield they expect from their crop. Some quick maths, subtract the input costs from the estimated output, and they get their profit. The team that can prove they have the biggest profit or gross margin will win.
You know, a bit of knowledge might be dangerous in some of these challenges we've been doing.
Well, at least it's not a minus.
Yeah, we've made some money.
We made money.
Charlotte,
yeah,
it'll be like 10 seconds.
Okay, team.
Are we happy with what we've got?
What did you say, Charlie?
Are they all correct agrochemicals?
I didn't have anything.
Yeah, well, I should do that in. Yep.
Yeah, excellent.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Time's
ready?
up.
Okay.
That's it.
Sorry.
I was like trying to find something to do, and then like, I don't know.
It's too difficult because there's like 3 main things to do.
I felt like I was like hanging around, and I was like, what can I do?
But like what I felt a bit then, when I was asking people to do something, they just weren't doing what I'd asked.
Yeah, because I wanted to bring the sales rep. Because I felt like I'd done nothing.
As the judges crunch the numbers, the apprentices debrief the task, but it looks like the stress of doing business has got to some.
Right, Charlotte, wheat gross margin challenge, and your first time as the boss in charge. How did it emerge that you were the leader, and how did you feel the task went?
We all had very limited knowledge of the subject area, and with Charlie being the only one with any knowledge, he stepped back for once because he's been leader a couple of times now. So I sort of said, well, I'll give it a go then. I think it went well with actually generating the figures, purchasing what we needed. There were a couple of things we did wrong. We didn't purchase any liquid urea to gain the premium for our milling wheat, which was a big mistake. But at the same token, I did say when the boys were ordering the seed, we haven't got the urea, don't order milling wheat, order all feed wheat, because then we may have made a better return off it.
We had a few tears though at the end of the task, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't want
Rebecca.
that to sort of hinder your view of my leadership skills. That has sort of been building through the week. I think there's been a couple of teary-eyed moments, but I think it finally came to a head because Rebecca felt she wasn't pulling away.
Do you reckon you used the independent advisors enough?
Yeah, I think we made really good use of them. We wrote a clear list of what we wanted to ask before we went in. Only made one trip to them, which I think was really positive.
We felt as judges your management style was very good. You've got quite a presence about you, and you know you certainly put the two boys to good use, and they bartered very well for you, and that was a good idea to do that. If you could do it all again, how would you try and engage the two girls, and how would you try and change that? What would be the
Make everybody fully read the instructions first. I think there are a couple of bits we missed, but yeah, you sort of think, as soon as you realise you're in a time constraint, you're, skim read it, it's fine, it'll be fine, we'll get it all.
On a lighter note, we had a little laugh on the side because the wonderful spelling of budget on the whiteboard is Buggit, B-U-G-I-T. Brilliant.
Who was that? That's one of the girls. Oh, good.
I think that was Bex.
Not you. Messed up with the fertiliser, messed up with some of the agrochemicals, but I think if we'd been given an extra half an hour, we'd have nailed that task.
Right.
Okay, so guys, we need a team leader.
Now it's the turn of Team 2. Will has seized the chance to lead, and he's got Richard, Kate, Catherine and Sam. He's off to a flying start.
Okay, so basically we've got to write down on here what we've got to organisation, time, priority and purchase planning.
Today was cereals. I turned up to the place again, I thought, oh God, cereals again. Sat down, all I could see was cereal pictures all over the place, and I thought, here we go again.
This obviously, is this going to determine how much fertiliser?
Yeah, it's going to determine what, so if you're going after a very profitable crop, then it's going to take a lot of nitrogen out.
Okay. So what there'll be residuals after.
So like spring beans, that's going to have a lot of nitrogen still in the soil. So who's happy referring to the RB209?
RB209 isn't the latest robot to appear in Star Wars. It's the name of the government's manual on how much fertiliser farmers are allowed to apply to specific crops on specific soil types and areas of the country.
Sorry, Will.
Yeah, sure.
All right, grain and fertiliser not be stored in the same shed space together. Does that mean seed and fertiliser, do you think?
Grain and fertilisers
not be stored in the same shed space together. We've only got one shed to work from.
Have you had that moment when you try and think of something and you realise that you're actually thinking of nothing? You're thinking about thinking of nothing.
Fertiliser, storage-based seed. There are two, seed can be purchased in any month from May to September, right?
If we open up the first seed pricing structure, because then we can see if we're going to buy early or late, and from that we can work out sort of when we would drill.
Will's organised his team well, but is there a chance he's overcomplicating things?
Well, according to this graph, it's May, June is when the prices have dropped over the last 5 years.
After everyone's got their spring crops in, because everyone's not needing seed, so I reckon a good time to be buying is May, June. What would you recommend, Richard? What would you think? Should we go all winter, or should we do 3 or 2 winter?
I think we should do a combination.
Yeah, generally, economically so far, it's been good to grow winter crops.
Okay. Yeah, it was tough. Just to put it in one word, it was tough. I'm a bit worried because it doesn't actually have anything about nitrogen here, which is what I'm trying to find.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to figure out the soil nitrogen supply by looking at the previous crops here to find out how much nitrogen they've got in the soil, so how much needs to go on it.
Task was difficult, very difficult, very difficult.
Do you want me to work out how much fertiliser we need to buy?
Yes, please.
Right now,
yeah.
I'll do that.
If you can look at the application rates as well, when the specific timers are. So pre-em, you're looking at your gross, you want tillering, and you want to look after your flag leaf as well.
And we're gonna.
The flag leaf is the biggest one on the plant, so it's the main solar panel. It collects all the sun's rays, creating energy to make the plant grow.
The seed isn't crucial for the fert, but it is crucial for the chem, isn't it? So what can we apply?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, we can't calculate how much we want until Richard's figured out. So we can't do anything until Richard's figured out how much fertiliser we need.
God, this is utterly hopeless.
Does anybody know what the diseases are that affect the winter wheat?
What's your question?
Do I go and speak to the experts?
Yeah, I would.
If those are the only resources we've got.
And what about how they're actually handling the task? We heard them earlier ringing up to try and get fertiliser. They got price but didn't buy. Are they across what they've actually got to do?
Yeah, they are monitoring the fertiliser trend prices, which is good. But they're going to need to lock in pretty soon and get that board.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, guys, I'm just going to go and ask for some advice.
So what can
I'm just trying to find the yield so I can predict a yield.
Hello there.
Hi.
Okay, I've got a few questions. I'm looking to plant some feed wheat. Want to find out what the common diseases are that affect both?
Right. You have the HTCA recommended list booklet, I believe, or access to it.
Yes.
Within that, there's a full grid of diseases and against the varieties, each variety. HGCA. HGCA.
Well, I'm not sure whether Kate really got what she wanted from those experts. Let's see.
How'd it go?
Okay. Well, basically all the information's here anyway. Really? That's what they said. They said just, yeah.
We tried to do spring crops and winter crops, and we spread it all over. We didn't read the pack properly.
Can I just check your maths?
Can I
check your maths?
You can't buy a part ton.
I didn't do it.
You just did it on maths?
Can you buy a part ton?
No. Well, see how much, what we buy in bulk bags, whatever.
Yeah, you don't think we should risk it and wait for it to get done?
No, where's the seed number? Where's the number? Fertiliser.
Is it in the book?
With a close eye on the fertiliser trading price behind him, Richard negotiates Team 2's price.
Oh, hello. I would like to buy some fertiliser, please. How much is sort of a delivery?
Okay, at the moment we've got some UK ammonium nitrate for £248 a tonne.
Okay, so I basically want 21,150 kilos.
1,150 kilos.
Yeah. So yeah, 35 bags is just short, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have 35 bags, please. And seeing as we are having 21 tonnes all at once, what's the best price you can do? The ultimate best price. Come on, because we'll come back to you next year.
All right, 246.50 a tonne.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that then. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that.
So Team 2 have bought their fertiliser, but they haven't yet got any seed to use it on.
Guys, who's doing wheat buying? Who's working that out?
Me, I'm trying to figure that out.
Read that. That's the first one. I've only opened the first one.
Yep.
Okay. And remember, whichever one we open last, we're fixed to buying it at that month.
You just open the next one?
I've only opened one.
I opened one earlier.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made a monstrous cock-up. We had to order amount of fertiliser for a certain amount of land, worked it all out, worked out how much I needed.
I didn't ask him what percentage nitrogen his fertiliser was. Like, that's one big balls up.
Bring him back. He'll give it to you straight away. Bring him back.
I think we just stick with it anyway now.
I made a very naive error of assuming that nitrogen was 100% in a bag. Of course it's not. I know it's not. You cannot buy 100% nitrogen. It just doesn't exist. I'm an arable farmer's son, and I'm still kicking myself that I forgot it was 34.5%.
So Revelation is going to go for home and pond.
Yeah.
So that is, Revelation is 150 kilograms per hectare times, there's 50 hectares there. So if you could do that quick calculation for me.
We've done
your fertiliser, have you?
Yeah, we've put the mass in.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you. We need to buy it as soon as possible.
This time, Sam tries out his negotiating skills.
Farmers, Brett speaking.
Hi Brett, Sam speaking. We called about the seed earlier. We're looking at 7,250 kilos of Revelation and 8,525 kilos of Dickens.
Okay, all right. Now they come in half-ton bags.
Sorry, just hold with me 1 minute, Brett. Right, okay, so they come in. Sorry, Will. They come in half-ton bags.
Yeah.
So we're going for 7.5 and 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bags, but yeah.
Yeah, 7.5 tons of Revelation and 8.5 of Dickens, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think you'll be able to throw in any deal on those? Really, perhaps down to.
Well, if you're putting them all together, I could budge down to say 420 a tonne. Oh, sorry, hang on. 400 a tonne.
400. Okay, he's offered £400 per tonne. It's currently at 410. Do you want me to try and get him in there or not?
395.
Are you still there, Brett?
Yeah.
Would you? How do you feel about 395 a tonne?
395 a tonne. Yeah, if we get it all wrapped up, I'll do it at 395.
Okay, good man. That's cracking. Thanks very much. Okay, thanks for your help. Cheers. Bye. Good. Right. And how much have we bought? We've bought 7.5 tons of Revolution. 3 grand.
That's 15 bags, if you need that.
No, just and 8.5 tons of Dickens. All right, okay. Right, okay,
what?
fine.
What's that?
Well, no, it just gives me a gross margin per hectare so far, and it's not great.
Team 2 use up every last second to fill out their spreadsheet and calculate the gross margin.
And the yield is 9.93. Seed,
okay, Will, you've got about 10 seconds left.
395.
Hang on, do you want to cut out the insecticides?
155.
Right now, do you want to cut out the insecticides?
No, 155. No? 115.
Yeah.
Keep going is £246.50.
Yeah.
What was your rate per hectare?
Okay, I can give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown. That's it, guys.
I'm going to cut out the insecticides.
Time's up. Let's see how Will thought it went.
Don't worry, it was a blooming difficult task. And you did the best that anyone would have done.
Look, don't take responsibility for it because we're a whole
team leader, mate.
Yeah, but we're a whole team.
So Will, this quiet, gentle guy that we've been watching all week suddenly has woken up and come alive. And you looked as though you'd absolutely grabbed the leadership from Sam. What happened there?
Sam, he wasn't positive on whether he wanted to come forward on this competition, and I felt if Sam wasn't going to take it, then I'm certainly going to jump up to the table and I'm going to take my opportunity to shine.
You started really like a train, all of you. You're really working together hard. At the end of it, you all seemed quite gutted, but was that simply because you didn't fill your spreadsheet in at the end well enough? Or?
I think when we look at, we got £5,500, losing £5,500 a hectare. I think we
it was a fault in your spreadsheet.
Yeah,
but
I think we were gutted the fact, you know, I think I should have used the advice that was there, and I was too big-headed in myself to look at use the guide that I had with me, and I looked at for example, the herbicides. I looked at the resistance it had, and I thought, right, no PGR is needed because it's got a high lodging resistance. So it's just certain calls, and I think looking back on it, then yeah, I should have used it. You know.
As Jane said, you're like a jack in the box. You came out at the start, and we thought, yes, here's Will, here he is, and went for it. You know, it's just that frustration in the middle when just things petered off a bit. And, you know, do you feel that the arable knowledge that came out in the group helped, or was a distraction?
It helped. Richard helped. You know, because he was only chat with. I have some arable experience being at university, and so does Sam. I think we just overcomplicated things with all our knowledge. Yeah.
You had made an error in your spreadsheet, but I think we're going to look at that, take that out. So don't be too disheartened on it.
And well done for seizing the moment.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I knew 2 minutes after I'd sort of purchased the fertiliser that it was all wrong.
Something completely different, and when they explained the brief to us, I was just like, oh God.
The task was tough, to put it simply, and I felt completely out of my depth.
Get yourself familiar with wheat prices and all these different varieties of wheat and knowing their yield. It's quite different to sheep farming and beef farming.
Very hard, out of my comfort zone, but that's why we're here.
I got on really well with Carwyn. The two of us were having a bit of fun on the phone, speaking to the guy about the seed.
Yeah, I think today went well. Got a bit emotional at the end of our task.
I've learnt a lot from today, and it's made me realise that in actual fact gross margins aren't just an arable thing. They can be like used across the board, obviously, like for your cattle, your lambs, anything.
I think the team worked well together. I mean, yeah, maybe I made somebody cry today, but I think if you think you're floundering and there's nothing to do, pull your finger out and find a job.
The time allocated, it was just a case of, I mean, when you've only got a deadline like that, it's a real tendency not to take the time to like read through the brief, and you sort of think you've read it and you haven't really paid enough attention because you're panicking in the back of your head. So.
Feedback time, apprentices. Now this was a test where actually our view as judges was that a little knowledge could be quite dangerous. A task that all of you could have walked through if you'd followed the brief and really thoroughly and read that brief.
We laid on 2 experts for you, And there's no doubt about it, good advice is good value. The cost for you to ask the question to the advisors is 48 pence per hectare. It's nothing in the whole scheme of things of those gross margins. And as we keep telling you, and we'll tell you again, it's a strength to ask for help. It's a weakness if you don't.
Now we want to hear from you guys as to what you thought of the leadership that you've both had. So let's start with Team 1. What did you make of Charlotte's leadership today?
Charlotte definitely got them, was leading everybody the whole way through.
I think she had quite a lot of knowledge and factor as well, so I think that kind of helped her. I didn't lead. Well, you sounded like you did.
Guys, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was a very good leadership. We probably should have read the brief a bit more thoroughly, and we probably would have done a bit better on the gross margin front.
The onus is on all of us to do that, though. That's not just, not
leadership,
Charlotte.
But no, very good leadership.
There was some concerns about not all of you being exercised enough of the time, but overall, very good leadership. Team 2, what did you think of Will's leadership?
I thought Will was the perfect leader for this task. He had some experience with gross margins and budgets, and he worked really hard himself, as well as keeping all of us busy all of the time.
And Will?
Yeah, I got to thank my teammates for working so hard for me through that task. I think we worked together really well as a team, and thank you guys so much for working hard.
Well done.
Cheers.
It was hard to keep that motoring going all of the time. There were flagging moments as well, but really impressive moments there where you were really all talking with each other, sharing information, and everybody was really busy. Really good.
We have actually allocated our star award for today, and we're actually going to award the stars to Charlotte, and we're going to award it to Will, because we felt that the leadership was excellent, and well done to that.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
I expect you'd like a bit of feedback about the task. Team 1, first of all, the fatal flaw that you made was that you misordered your nitrogen. So you thought you were ordering as though it was 100% nitrogen in a bag, and of course ammonium nitrate is only 34.5%, so you actually ended up only ordering a third of your nitrogen to actually put on the crop. Now group 2, again, you never read the brief properly, and if you'd done that, life would have been so much easier for you. You tried to overcomplicate, you were worrying about drilling dates, you were trying to grow spring wheat, it was never in the brief. You also didn't order enough nitrogen, but you went with a low input program, which again, in normal circumstances, wouldn't have been the right choice. What we've done is both teams had got their input of data incorrectly, so we've had to correct the data to try and come up, but we kept it with the raw analysis that you both got too low a nitrogen on the crops. So I'm going to pass over to Richard to tell you what the results were.
After great deliberation and going through those numbers, there's actually a £36.80 difference. So the team that are going to win the wheat challenge are Team 2.
Well done. Wait a thing.
Team 2, I'll just highlight just the actual result for Team 2 was £599.45, and Team 1 was £562.65.
That was tight.
The optimum that you could have got to was 882, so you're about £300 a hectare off the optimum. But it was predominantly down to ordering your nitrogen incorrectly.
Yep.
Team 1, if you got your nitrogens right, you would have won it.
We all worked really well together. Everyone was busy. Will was the perfect leader for this task. It was really great.
We won at last. I finally won a task. Was it fourth time lucky? So yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Really surprised, really shocked, and happy, very happy with the result.
Disappointed we didn't win, but I don't really care, because I think we did a good job, and by the sounds of it we actually did a better job than them, and it was just unfortunate.
I'd really like to make an impression in the next 2 days, but it's going to be really difficult, I think, because there's such strong characters in in the group.
Although there's weaknesses and strengths, at the end of the day, that is what this competition is all about.
All the candidates are strong, and it's going to be a tough competition right through to the end.
I always knew it from the start that Will was going to be a strong contender. He's achieved a lot till now, and someone said it's not about what you've done till now, it's about what you're doing. About what you're going to do in the future. But if he's achieved what he has, it says a lot about him.
I think there is a slight split in the group now. I think there's a couple of people falling behind, but who knows? It's all about this business plan, isn't it?
This morning's task is a beauty contest, and is a bovine beauty contest.
Welcome to your business pitch.
I'm now here to win, you know, teamwork's out the window now.
The winner of the 2014 Farmers Apprentice is